a mum and I have a child with special needs, quite complex needs, and so I have some experience on how life can sometimes be a bit tricky, and I like to talk a lot. And so the reason I went for the training was because I like to care about people, but I wanted to make sure that I was caring in the right way.
People often come to me during times of high pressure and can show signs that they may be struggling. So I wanted to upskill myself on how best to respond to situations like that. I recognise how important my response is when someone seeks help from me. So I wanted to make sure that I support them as best I can, whatever the situation.
After seeing some of my family and friends and colleagues suffering with mental health issues, I wanted to understand about their struggle and how I could be there to help and support them. And just knowing what the right thing to say and do is, and where I can point them in the right direction to help them.
Poor mental health and mental health conditions have affected myself directly and indirectly, and other members of my family and friendship group. So I really just wanted to upskill myself so that I could be of service if possible.
So I became a mental health first aider because I've seen and experienced firsthand how important good mental health is for well-being. I believe that mental health first aid is just as important as physical first aid, and I wanted to undertake training to really help wherever I could.
I wanted to become a mental health first aider because I recognise that even today, mental health can be seen as a taboo subject that people resist talking about in case of judgment or in fear of being misunderstood. So I wanted to help raise awareness and be able to give those people that needed some extra support somewhere safe to go and people to talk to.
So I became a mental health first aider because I know that poor mental health and mental health conditions can impact a lot of people, and I wanted to be able to provide some practical guidance for people both professionally and then within my circle of friends and my family, and also for myself when we sort of have periods of time when we're struggling.
So I became a mental health first aider because I wanted to know how I could offer my help and support for people that I know, both professionally and outside of my personal life. And also, if I can't support them, where they can find the support and who they should turn to.
For me, it's very much animals and walking and exercise, and we had a little dog who was 4, Ivy, and then during lockdown we got a new one, a Cocker Spaniel called Wally, who have really benefited my youngest son, but also my oldest son, who's had some time to go off and spend some time walking the dogs and reflecting on his day and getting in his exercise.
We all know the feeling that we get after a nice walk or exercise. And just taking in the beauty that is around us. And I think blocking out all the materialistic factors in our lives and just appreciating what is around us really puts everything into perspective.
I know that being outside in the garden just makes you feel calmer, more relaxed. And I like to go for walks in the countryside to get some exercise. And it just gives you a sense of achievement and purpose, and it just makes you feel good.
Nature for me really reminds me that I am a really small part of a bigger whole, and kind of grounds me and gives me some perspective over things that I've got going on. It alleviates my anxiety and just helps me feel more able to cope with what I've got going on.
And for me, nature is a vital way of supporting mental health. And on a personal level, it's really benefited me sort of this last 12 months with the difficulties that everyone's gone through. Spending time simply in the garden or going for walks really helps to get away from all of the everyday stresses and strains that I think everyone's really felt. And even if it's just for 10 minutes, the benefits are long lasting.
I feel that nature works to support mental health in a number of different ways, but personally, during lockdown in particular, I bought probably about 8 new plants for my flat, and I found that even that small aspect, that small contribution of nature into my normal environment really helped me feel less stressed and more positive and more comfortable when I was forced to work from home when I didn't necessarily want to. And it was a nice, helpful aspect to supporting my well-being.
I can't say before the pandemic I was a big walker, but before there was other things to do, so it's kind of pushed me to get outside. And I've really appreciated sort of just wandering around the fields, and the calmness and the quietness helps alleviate some of those anxieties from the, you know, the fast-paced world that we are still all living in our living rooms.
Naturally, nature gives off endorphins, so they can immediately make you feel better. Someone once told me that if you feel sad, you should sit under a tree. Apparently, it makes you feel better. And also, you know, getting outside and getting more active also increases endorphins as well, so that makes us feel better and alleviates stress and anxiety.